Number 1. Re-sign Anthony Rizzo to a 4-year, $65 million deal. All we hear is that the Yankees need to address the culture of the organization, and I agree with that. For some reason, whether accurate or not, it seems they've been content with mediocrity. They need to establish a winning environment again, and losing a well-respected veteran who's won it all before in Anthony Rizzo certainly would not help that. While he has regressed offensively, he still had a solid 2021 season. Over 141 games between the Cubs and the Yankees, he put up a .344 on base with 22 home runs and a .112 weighted runs created plus. And defensively, he's one of the best first basemen in the game, as he was second among the position in outs above average. I can't even lie, I honestly didn't even realize how critical having a good defensive first baseman can be. And no offense to Luke Voit, who, yes, I believe will be dealt this offseason, he was not good on defense. He was pretty damn bad, actually. Number 2. Sign Corey Seager to a 7-year, $168 million deal with an opt-out after year 3. It can no longer be ignored. The Yankees need to address the position of shortstop this offseason. I know many of you want Carlos Correa. I do not blame you. He's arguably the best shortstop in baseball. And the more I think about it, just for the fact that he could end up in the hands of one of our rivals, I'm open to it. Thing is, it's just not going to happen. Not to mention that he's likely going to cost over $300 million. Many players in the Yankees flat out do not like him. And trust me, if Brian Cashman felt the need to ask Aaron Judge's permission to acquire Giancarlo Stanton, he would certainly do the same with Carlos Correa. Fortunately, this urgent need comes at a time where another elite shortstop is available, and that's where we enter Corey Seager. He's left-handed, doesn't strike out a lot, and is just 27 years old. He's coming off a real solid season offensively where he hit .306 with a .394 on base with 16 home runs and a .147 WRC plus in 95 games for the Dodgers. That .147 WRC plus was second best among all shortstop in baseball with 400 or more plate appearances, number 1 being Fernando Tatis Jr. Now, he's not on Correa's level defensively as he's league average at best, but with Anthony Volpe on the rise in the Yankees system, you could always move Seager to second or third base in a couple years. Point being, he doesn't have to play shortstop forever, and with a 7-year deal, you'd be getting essentially all of his prime, and by throwing in the opt-out after year 3, he'd have the chance to be a free agent again at age 30. Number 3, replace the coaching staff. Like I said before, the Yankees need a culture change, and that starts with the coaching staff. I actually don't hate Aaron Boone. I think he's a better manager than people give him credit for, but he's going to have to be a part of what should be a clean sweep of almost every coach associated with the Major League team. Outside of pitching coach Matt Blake, of course, he did a phenomenal job this year. Number 4, do your absolute best to trade one of Aroldis Chapman or Zach Britton. The days of paying relievers $15 million a year is over. At least it should be. The Yankees, they're paying a combined $31 million between Britton and Chapman's salaries next year. And while this shouldn't even be an issue, we know the Yankees, they like to cry poor. And one of the few things they do well is create good bullpen arms, as we saw this past season. So what they should do is try their very best to trade one of them and then allocate that money elsewhere. Number 5, sign Kevin Gausman to a 5-year, $110 million deal. Now, the pitching doesn't need much addressing. We're actually in really good shape there, but I do feel the need for another established starting pitcher who could be called our number 2. Kevin Gausman, he's finally turned into the pitcher everyone thought he'd be. Now, yes, he's had success here and there in the past, but he stepped up as the Giants' ace in 2021. Over a full 33 starts, he went 14-6 with a 2.81 ERA, backed up by a 3.0 FIP and a 3.49 SIERA. And he struck out 227 batters in 192 innings. Now, I'm not sure he'll replicate that success, but he'd certainly fill the role of a number 2 or number 3 starter that we could rely on heading into a postseason series. Number 7. Try and acquire Ketel Marte from the Diamondbacks without giving up Anthony Volpe or Jason Dominguez. The Yankees can't depend on Aaron Hicks being their everyday center fielder heading into 2022. Now, if that ends up happening and he stays healthy, I got no problem. The last time he stayed on the field for a full season, he was one of the best center fielders in the game. However, I just don't know if that's going to happen again. We've heard Ketel Marte's name in trade rumors for a couple years now, and I think the Yankees, at the very least, should try and acquire him. He's young, athletic, a switch hitter, and really good. In 90 games last season, he hit .318 with a .909 OPS, 14 homers, 50 RBIs, and a WRC plus of 139. He ran into some injuries, which is why he didn't play the full season. But take a look back at 2019 when he played in 144 games. He hit .329 with 32 homers in a 7-WAR season. Dude is ridiculously good, and he's under control through the 2024 season. All that is why the Diamondbacks will ask for an insane return, as they should. If I'm Brian Cashman and the Yankees, I'm going to do almost any deal that doesn't involve Anthony Volpe or Jason Dominguez. Number 8. Roll with Gary Sanchez as your starting catcher unless a better opportunity presents itself. Gary Sanchez is what Gary Sanchez is. He's not great defensively, and he's probably going to hit you 25 to 30 homers while batting maybe 220. You all see that and believe it to be a terrible product. Thing is, when you compare it to the rest of the catchers in baseball, it's really right around average. Would I like to see the Yankees upgrade a catcher? Absolutely. But looking at the available options that are realistic, I don't really see anyone who's a clear better option than Sanchez. Now, I'm open to suggestions. Like I said, if a better opportunity presents itself, they should 100% go for it. So if you guys have any ideas, drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you. Number 9, sign Aaron Judge to a 6-year, $228 million extension and name him the 15th captain in franchise history. For years, Aaron Judge has been wrongly labeled as injury prone. If he never takes a fastball to the wrist in 2018, he'd have played 145 plus games 2 out of 3 seasons. It was strongly overblown, and he proved that in 2021 with an MVP caliber year. He played in 148 games and hit 287 with a 373 on base, a 544 slugging, 39 home runs, 98 RBIs, a 148 WRC plus, and had a WAR of 6. And not only does he represent us tremendously on the field, but off the field as well. I've said this before and I'll say it again. He is the reincarnation of Derek Jeter's personality and Alex Rodriguez's talent. He's a superstar and arguably the face of baseball. With just 1 year left before free agency, the Yankees need to lock him up. And making him the highest paid position player in baseball at $38 million a year will certainly do the trick. Make it over 6 years, at most 7, and the contract will age quite gracefully. And then, without a doubt, name him the 15th captain in franchise history. And then, let's go win a damn World Series. So there's my list, guys. I don't know if you're going to agree or not. I put a lot of thought into it, like I said, and I truly believe these, I know I skipped over a number in there, I apologize for that, but these 8 or 9 steps, whatever it was, if the Yankees at least do most of these, they'll be very well set up for the 2022 season. And if you want to take a bit of optimism away from this video, as you largely should, because if this stuff happens, the Yankees are set up nicely, but even if not, just overall heading into the offseason, like, don't get it twisted. The Yankees, they are pretty well set up, mostly for the fact that their pitching is pretty much set. If they can just go out and get one starting pitcher, I'd prefer Kevin Gausman, but there's other guys available too. If they can go out and get one starting pitcher, the pitching is complete. It's really just the lineup that they have to address, and I addressed it in this video, so let me know if you guys agree with my blueprint to the perfect Yankees offseason. And as for like a little channel update real quick, not going to be any set schedule for like Yankees recaps and videos like this, which I'm calling a Yankees recap. But highlight videos will be starting to roll out soon. We got Aaron Judge coming this week. They're going to be complete and full highlights, like basically every single RBI and defensive highlight of the season. Giancarlo Stanton, that'll be coming out too. Probably do Gary Sanchez, Garrett Cole, and a couple other big names. And yeah, I'll still probably do another maybe at least 2, maybe 3 recorded videos like this a week as well. And yeah, that's all I got to say for this video. I hope you guys are all doing well post-elimination. But we got a big offseason coming, and I'm legitimately excited. I'm not just saying that. I'm not faking optimism like some people do, which isn't a bad thing, but I'm legitimately excited is what I'm trying to say. So I hope you guys are too. I will see you guys next time. Let's go Yankees.